No.
We're not gonna get it.
No, we won't.
Modern lovers on the radio remind me of summers in New England and the warmth of a two-pan burning. Oh, the love of a faithful woman. Road runner, road runner. Oh, won't you ever settle down? Or will you run faster miles an hour through every friend you've ever found? Sweet word, laid a place for me. I don't know where I'd be without her now. That heavy burden came and laid me down. But it feels at home when you're around. Oh God, I miss the sound of the night. Alright, well, failure's always an option. I just wanted to see if I could move that, and it turns out I can't. So, I'm gonna have to build around it. One more tool I made from barn scrap. I don't think I risk another these days. I'm gonna keep it to the song, because I've been losing. Oh. There's a date on this slab. 1961. Pretty cool. But it feels at home when you're around. Sweet word, he made a place for me. I don't know where I'd be without her now. That heavy burden came and laid me down. But it feels at home when you're around. Oh God, I miss the sound of the night. The crickets bleeding through the living room. I am really hitting a wall today. I don't know if it's just because I'm redoing something that I've already done, or if it's just too many days and too many bug bites in a row working on this project, but every step is a mental argument with myself. You know, really what I want to do is to go somewhere where I can use internet and play video games with my cousin today. I am not going to look back at my life and think about how good I got at Overwatch or Destiny 2. I am going to hopefully look back at my life and think, wow, that's a terrible shed that I built. I don't know if I'm gonna do joinery for the top here, just because well, everything's a little difficult with this funky wood, and everything's a little funky with the wood I'm choosing. I'm trying to use the wood that I can't use for other things. So this piece here, for instance, is 4 feet 11 inches. I actually need a 5-foot piece, so I'm probably just going to put kind of an end cap on that to shore it up before I put the siding on, but you won't see that from the outside. But everything's a little wonky because of the materials I'm working with, for sure. A lot of the cuts down here, the ones that were done previously, had been eaten by mice, and here, I'll show you, things like that. So they're not exactly the cleanest cuts to begin with, and then the cuts that I did on top of that weren't exactly precise. You know, we're using a lot of wood here that was just on the verge of starting to rot, or just looking a little rough, so that we could learn with it. So I was buying $1 Italian bread sliced. It's essentially white bread. I would eat 4 peanut butter sandwiches easily in a sitting. That's 8 slices. And still be kind of hungry. And I literally went through a loaf of bread in one day eating peanut butter sandwiches. Boy, do you want a glass of milk after that, for starters. And second, ever since I switched to this is power seed bread. It's like organic, it's got protein in it. This is not a paid sponsorship. $5, but 1 or 2 instead of 4, and a banana. Okay, so let's talk about the problem that I have coming up. Right now I've built these to be 4 feet 5.5 inches tall from the bottom of the support there where it touches the stone. So it's a little less tall on the interior here where I'm standing. Let's call it roughly 4 feet to here, probably a few inches less. Either way, on top of this we have a 36-degree angled roof pitch, which is going to make a sublime triangle. And we're going to stick this right on the top of that. Now, when you stick the roof on the top of this, logic tells me that it's going to push the walls down and potentially out. Now in the back that's fine because we have this support system here, and the walls, they can't really go out back here. But in the front, where I have yet to put a door, they're real wiggly. But like I've said in earlier videos, I am not a professional. This is definitely the first time I've ever made anything like this, and so we'll see where it goes. It could end up being a massive, massive mess. You can see the wood I'm using is not ideal, but it is free, so Another thing that I'm going to try and do to help kind of stabilize these, which they're getting more and more stable every minute, is I cut some blocks here and I'm just going to wedge them into the corners there, nail them in, and hopefully that'll give a little more support as we're building the door frame, etc. I may end up taking these blocks out, but honestly they're out of the way, so I might just leave them in. But get this done for now. Get is obviously that worked because of math. Let's get the rest done. On a board like this, obviously this is no good. This is not anything I want to put into a structure that I'm building, so I'm cutting it here. Out of this board, I'm going to take the 8 most usable, straightest, least warped feet out of this. And then on a board like this, there's a bunch of nails that are also a problem, so I'm going to have to take out a lot of these before I cut my 18-degree angle, and that will then match up hopefully with my other one there. You can see down here I hit a nail, and up here I hit a really nasty knot. That's what made my saw skip, so you see it jumping around. It's this old wood. Alright, so I made a rookie mistake, and I'm not quite sure this is actually going to fit on my building, because I didn't take into account the thickness of my wood. I just missed it on camera, but people have told me there's an eagle around here, and I swear I just saw what had to have been an eagle. I looked up because I heard like the most struggled, like air whipping noise that I've ever heard that high up in the air. I look up and there is a gigantic bird, must have been the eagle that they say is here, and no joke, it's carrying an adult turtle in its mouth. Like, the turtle had to be this big at least, like, because I could see the shape of the shell. So I changed my roof angle just a touch to make it fit with the wood that I have. And now I've cut out one of the trusses, and I'm going to try and stand it up and secure it and see if it looks good, if it's even, if the peak is right down the middle. If it looks good, I'm going to take down the whole thing, and then I'm going to take it apart, and I'm going to use that as a template for the second one. And I'm hoping I can get away with just 2 on this. And then put supports in between, because it's such a steep roof pitch and it's such a small building. So, and the wood's pretty thick that I'm using. So we'll see how it goes. Side note, I fully intend on supporting my foundation a little more. I realize this is a little backwards, but I'm a little backwards. It's so close. Alright, so that thing fits so well, it's honestly pretty much just jammed up there without any screws or anything in it. It looks level to me, and it's level on the support that I put across it, the rafter beam. So that's good enough for me. I'm going to take it down, take it apart, and we are going to use that as a template for the next one.
Stomping through the underground, we smell like diesel fuel and lemon balm. Oh, it's me and you. Let our feet take control of us. Stomping through the underground, we smell like diesel fuel and lemon balm. Oh, it's me and you and well, don't you remember?